Job and his trials from the standpoint of conservative faith, a Bible story for children. The story of Job is one of the most powerful narratives in the Bible, teaching us about faith, perseverance, and the sovereignty of God. Through Job's trials and ultimate restoration, children can learn valuable lessons about trusting God even in difficult times. In this blog, we will explore Job's story from the standpoint of conservative faith, making it accessible and engaging for young readers. Introduction to Job. The Book of Job is one of the oldest books in the Bible, often included in the wisdom literature. Job's story is set in the land of Uz, a place of wealth and prosperity, where Job lived a life of great blessing. Who was Job? A man of integrity. Job was described as a man who was blameless and upright. He feared God and shunned evil. Blessed with abundance, Job had 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he owned a large number of livestock. He was considered the greatest man among all the people of the East. The trials begin. Job's trials began with a conversation between God and Satan. Satan challenged Job's faithfulness, suggesting that Job was only faithful because of his blessings. God allowed Satan to test Job, but with the condition that he could not harm Job himself. Loss of possessions and family. First test in a single day, Job lost his oxen, donkeys, sheep, camels, and most tragically, his children. Despite these overwhelming losses, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. Job's response: Job mourned deeply, but expressed his faith with the famous words, "The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away, may the name of the Lord be praised." Affliction of Job's health. Second test: Satan struck Job with painful sores, from the soles of his feet to the top of his head. Job's physical suffering was intense. Job's wife, overwhelmed by their misfortune, suggested that he curse God and die, but Job replied, "Shall we accept good from God, and not trouble?" Job's friends and their counsel. Job's 3 friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, came to comfort him. However, their visit turned into a series of debates, as they insisted that Job must have sinned to deserve such suffering. Misguided comfort. Eliphaz suggested that Job's suffering was a punishment for sin and encouraged him to seek God's favor. Bildad insisted that Job must repent to be restored. Zophar claimed that Job's punishment was actually less than he deserved. Job's defense. Maintaining innocence. Job maintained his innocence, and expressed his confusion over his suffering. He longed for an explanation from God. Faith in God's justice despite his friends' accusations. Job continued to trust in God's justice and sovereignty. God's response. After Job and his friends finished their discussions, God answered Job out of a storm. God's response highlighted his wisdom, and the limitations of human understanding. God speaks. Creation's wonders. God described the wonders of creation, demonstrating his unmatched power and knowledge. Job's humility confronted with God's majesty. Job humbled himself and repented for questioning God's plans. Job's restoration. In the end, God restored Job's fortunes. He gave him twice as much as he had before, blessed him with more children, and granted him a long, full life. Blessings restored. Double the wealth Job received, double the amount of livestock he had lost. New family. Job had 7 more sons and 3 more daughters, known for their beauty. Long life. Job lived 140 more years, seeing his children and their children to the 4th generation. Lessons for children. The story of Job teaches several important lessons for children. Trust in God even when things are tough. Trust that God has a plan and a purpose. Perseverance. Continue to have faith and do good, even when it seems like nothing is going right. God's sovereignty. Recognize that God's ways are higher than our ways, and His understanding is beyond our comprehension. God is in control. God is all-powerful and knows everything. Even when bad things happen, He has a reason for them. Trust God. We should always trust in God, even when we don't understand what's happening. Faith is rewarded if we stay faithful to God. He will bless us in His own time and way. Conclusion. The story of Job, when viewed from the standpoint of conservative faith, offers timeless lessons about the nature of suffering, the importance of faith, and the sovereignty of God. By sharing this story with children, we can help them develop a deep, resilient faith that will carry them through life's challenges. The story of Job teaches us that life can be hard, but God is always with us. When we have faith in Him and trust His plan, we can overcome any challenge. Job's story is a reminder that God's love is stronger than any hardship we face. Through this blog, children can see how Job's steadfast faith and God's ultimate justice provide a powerful example of trust and perseverance in the face of adversity.